Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of almost all ages, with parental consent, the sick twisted minds at Sacrificial Pond Productions brings you a new style horror film, like nothing you have seen before. There are no cops, no investigations. There is no backstory, no follow-up of the victims who were brutally tortured and murdered. Our story isn't about them. Normal Terror is about a single dad struggling to make ends meet. His son is his first priority. He goes to work, pays his bills, and is generally a great dad. The twist comes after he puts his son to bed. This is where he releases his stress. Some people do yoga, some hit the gym, some go for runs, some people paint on a canvas. An anonymous source once wrote on an abandoned asylum wall, "I never understood people until I took one apart just to see how it worked." If you are rear-ended in traffic, most people's thought runs to anger and their primal instincts of hurting the other party. Sam Neill does not have the ability to stop that primal instinct. Let us take you into the mind of a killer. Normal Terror is a concept from the mind of Sam Mason, who wrote, directed, produced, and is starring in this new age feature film.
Let's get slicing and dicing with Sir Sturdy horror fans. On this podcast, you will hear me and a guest do some movie reviews, random funny horror chats, and whatever else comes to mind. So tune in, kick back, relax, and always remember, I'll see you in your nightmares.
Well, just Jason's mask.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Horror with Sir Sturdy. I have my guest, Rheanon, with me. Rheanon, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I just finished the movie we're going to be doing, Night of the Demons, and it's still a hilarious movie. Crazy and weird, but funny.
Yep. I love that movie so much.
So what are your thoughts on it?
I really love the cheesy B movies from the 80s. It's like, whether they're good or bad, I'll still watch them. I still love them. And this is just one of those classics that I've watched probably 15, 20 times, and I still will watch it. The acting's bad. The effects aren't that great. The demons were pretty scary, though. But it's like those predictable lines, that cliche scenario. But I love it. What'd you think about it?
I really enjoyed it. Like, I haven't seen this movie too many times. This might have been like my third or fourth watch of it, but I definitely need to watch it a lot more. Funny horror movie, like you said. The effects were amazing. The acting wasn't the best, but for its time, it was decent. And then, like, for the type of movie it was, it worked. But I feel like if this was a more serious horror movie, it could have been a really scary movie with the idea of them all going to that house to party and just all that wild shit happening. Minus if you take the comedy out of it, I mean, that could have been a really scary movie. But either way, to me, it still worked, and I enjoy it. I loved it, actually.
Yeah, me too. They did actually. Did you see the remake of it with Elizabeth Shannon?
I didn't.
I think it was 2000, either 2004 or 2014. I can't remember. But that one was pretty, and it had Edward Furlong. Remember him from Pet Sematary?
Mm-hmm.
He was in it, so it was pretty good. But it's just, it's not the original, you know. So it's
not as good.
It's not as good.
I'll have to check that out, though. And speaking of Pet Sematary, you know, there's another one coming out, a remake or reboot, whatever you want to call it. The creators of it. I'm excited for that.
Oh, me too. Who's it? Oh, John Lithgow is playing the old guy next door.
Judd Crandall?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. I always remember John Lithgow from that Twilight Zone.
See,
remember that one in the airplane?
I'm horrible with names. Like
Oh man.
when it comes to actors' names, like if someone would really have to like break down the movie or whatever they're in, I'm like, oh yeah, that guy, because I'm just or that lady. I'm horrible with names. I'm trying to get better at it, but it's too much to remember.
It is. There's a lot. But yeah, he's in it, and the only thing I don't like about it is the cat Church.
Hmm.
You always remember him as this big fat gray cat, and it's not. It looks like a Maine Coon or something. He's all like kind of multicolored.
See now with that though, I can say if you've read the, did you ever read the book?
I did, but a long time ago. I think I was a teenager.
Okay, now if you look at the cover of the book, it looks similar to the cat that's in the new movie, which I do like. I think it's a tab. I think it's a tabby cat. I could be wrong.
Like, yeah, I think you're right. It's just the face where it's kind of like it's like growling at and it's just the cat face, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And then all the stuff's behind him.
Yep. So it's not. It's the black and gray, with the tiger stripe type of thing. It's not like a solid gray cat. So I'm
Hmm.
not too mad. I'm not mad about that at all. And the same, like I said, the same people that did the remake of It are doing this, and they did. I think they did a good job with Chapter One. So
Oh.
I think they'll knock this one out the park.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I didn't know that it was the same people that did it.
That's what I heard or read or both. I could be
Oh,
wrong, but yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, and they're doing the second one right now too on it, chapter 2.
that's gonna be amazing.
Hell yeah. Did you see the side by sides of the kids and then when they're adults? Like who's playing the adults?
I did, but I forgot who was playing who. But
I don't remember everybody.
I wasn't mad at it. I know that much.
Yeah, they looked the same. So I think they did great on casting it.
I,
But yeah.
I guess we can dive into this movie. Um, I guess I'll let you start with this. Whatever you want to say about the movie, Night of the
Okay.
Demons.
Night of Demons. So who is your favorite character?
My favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna sound real typical, but I always go with the black guy. He survived. I'm so happy about that.
That's true.
And not only did he survive, but he saved the girl and survived. Usually, when the female or male tries to be the hero at the end, they that one person they try to save survives and they end up dying. Fall like he could have fell off the wall. Me
Yeah.
personally, I'm like, look, you're someone else's girlfriend. I'm sorry. I'm out of here.
Fend
You
for
guys,
yourself.
you white people are crazy. This is too much for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that he was cool though too, and he was actually the only like level-headed one besides the girl that
That's
lived at the end too.
Now I joke about this all the time with friends, with the whole race jokes and all that. That's
Hmm.
exactly how we would act. Like I'm not gonna sit here once I hear something crazy going on. That's it. I'm ready to leave. I'm trying to get out of there. I'm not trying to stay and party and all that and hook up. Fuck that.
Yeah. Fuck that, I'm gone.
Exactly. Who was your favorite?
Well, it's a toss-up because there was quite a few I liked. So I liked Suzanne
Mm-hmm.
just because like I was telling you earlier, I liked the reason I like her is just her stupid heart.
Yes.
I just liked how she drew it on lipstick. That's the only reason I really liked that character, which is so dumb.
I liked her because
Um,
the other lipstick scene and the nipple.
that was so gross. I was like, no, she's not doing that. Oh my God. Yeah, that's weird. And then like I'm trying to see, like did it I know like now it would have been like digitally done pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. So I was trying to see, I'm like, where did it go? Like, how'd they do that?
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
question.
yeah, yeah, that's pretty fucked up. So I liked her, but then I did like the blonde girl who lived at the end because she was really sweet. She wasn't, like a total bitch. She wasn't
Mm-hmm.
completely stupid. So I felt bad for her. So I did like her. But then I liked the asshole boyfriend because he ended up being nice in the end. Well, before he died, but
Yeah, that's true. You know who else I liked was the old lady at the end. Remember when she was making a pie for her husband, and she gave him pie and coffee, and he was asking her where she got the apples from or something. And he said, I think she said you're the one who got the apples, whatever apples you got. And he ate whatever she made, and there was razor blades in the apples, and you seen his neck start bleeding, seen a razor blade come out, and he just died in his bowl of pie or whatever. She kissed him on the back of his head, and she's just drinking coffee. You don't remember that
I don't
part?
remember that part. No, and I just watched it last night. Is it like after the credits or is it at the very end?
No, it's at the very end. It's right before the credits come off. Come on.
Oh my god, I probably like fell asleep like right at that time.
As a
But I
matter,
saw him get to the wall. I saw him get over it,
hmm it's
and
the
that's all I remember.
it's the same old guy that they were messing with earlier in the movie. Remember when they were driving in the car and the guy pulled his pants down? He had like the pumpkin boxers on or whatever. And then
Yeah.
the nice girl, someone else came up and scared him, and he dropped his stuff. The nice girl came up to try to help him, and he like yelled at her and cursed her out and called her a whore. It's that same old
Yeah.
guy.
Oh, okay. Now I'm gonna have to watch that part. I don't remember it.
Yeah, and I was just like, wow, like this old lady's pretty damn ruthless because she knew what she was doing because she just sipped her coffee. The way she was looking, like I know what I did. She was just sipping her coffee like nothing happened, and
Like
then the
you
credits
said,
came
oh
on.
well. What a bitch.
You'll see
Oh
when you watch
man.
that movie again. You're gonna be looking for that exact part. You're gonna be like, holy shit, this is what he was talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna fast forward it to that part just so I can see it because, like I said, I just watched it, a few weeks ago,
hmm
and clearly missed that part, and I watched it last night and missed that part.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
must have been just like not paying attention.
I get like that sometimes with movies, especially if it's a movie I've seen so many times. I'm like, I know
Hmm.
this movie. I'm just kind of watching it as a refresher. But that part, I was like, yeah, that was a good part.
Dang, yeah, I'll have to watch that. The one guy that really bugged me was I can't remember his name, but he was like the one that had the anarchy sign on his back, and he was wearing the pig nose. Had
Okay,
like this.
the
I
heavy
couldn't
set guy,
stand. Yes, I could not stand
the
him.
loud one. Was it Pete?
Yes,
I forgot his name
obnoxious.
too, but I know who you're talking about. He's the one. I think. No, he was the one driving. No, was he the one driving the car?
Yeah. Or no, no, no. The girl was driving. Remember? He's like, "Drive, bitch."
Yes, and then he hit the freaking steering wheel and the car spun around and all that crazy shit.
Yeah.
He's the one who mooned the old guy earlier. Well,
Yeah.
kind of mooned him.
With his pumpkin boxers.
There you go. Yeah, him.
Yeah, he was a dick. He deserved to die.
I don't think he didn't bother me too much. I don't think I really had any characters I hated. I wanted to hate the little brother was kind of weird because he was hiding in his sister's closet. He said his sister had bodacious boobs or something like that. I'm like, that's kind of
Yeah.
weird. That bothered me.
Yeah, that was gross.
And then he just had a smart mouth when he was talking to his mom and all that about her food, the little
Hmm.
treats she made when he said they
Yeah.
look like poodle poop or something. My mother would have slapped me in the mouth for something like that. She just kind of
Oh yeah.
looked like she was about to start crying. I was like, wow, this kid, I don't like
Yeah,
him.
little shithead.
He was a jerk.
He was a total jerk. Yeah. And the one girl that bugged me was the Asian chick. She bugged me because her acting was so bad. It was so bad. I was like, all right, there's bad and there's like terrible.
She wasn't the best, but
No,
this whole cast wasn't the greatest for this movie at least.
that's true. Yeah. Um, so when, how I was telling you about the horror film festival, how Linnea Quigley was there,
Hmm
she was like the guest this year, the main guest. And she was talking about, I think she was saying that, she was going to audition for it. And so she went in, I guess she gets anxiety or something like that is what she was saying. And so she was, had a lot of anxiety. She was going to go try, didn't think she'd really get it, but whatever. And so then when she walked in, she didn't even have to audition. They
Wow,
just hired her on the spot.
that's amazing.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be cool?
Hell yeah, like you
It's
got it.
like, shit, you didn't have to do anything.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was like, good for you. That's cool. But yeah, I love that movie. The demons, though, those were scary.
They looked really good.
They really did.
I was actually surprised. I mean, kind of surprised with it just because it's an older movie, but at the same time, that's when all the practical effects and special effects were really good because we didn't have all this CGI BS ruining
Yeah.
everything.
Yep. So they actually had to really do the makeup and really make them look that way.
And they did excellent freaking job with it. I was like, holy shit, this is great.
Yeah. Same with so Fright Night.
Hmm.
They you've seen that, right?
Yeah.
The original one. I think those effects were really good too.
Oh yeah.
Those vampires were scary as fuck.
That yeah, those effects were good, and so was what the hell is it called? Werewolf in London? Is that it?
Uh-huh.
Those effects were. I was like, what the hell? And even another one, The Thing. The
Was that
effects
with Kurt Russell?
was that the one from the 80s?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that has Kurt. I'm pretty sure Kurt Russell was in that. And
Again.
that's like where that thing comes out of, like in that one scene, comes out of the stomach and it's like all over the room, sort of.
Hmm. And comes out of the
Mm-hmm.
wolves at one point. The dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that was good. That movie is my best friend that I was telling you about that we do sideshow horrors.
Hmm.
That's his favorite all-time movie.
That's a good movie though. The thing I did a podcast on that, which I actually have to have that. It's gonna be dropping soon. That one and the one we did a while ago is gonna be dropping soon.
Yay!
My brother just resent it to me because I couldn't find it when he sent it to me originally. So
Oh shit.
it happens.
Oh, it does for sure. Yeah. I'm trying to think of another one, but yeah, I think so. Fright Night, I think, is my favorite as far as the effects,
Okay.
because and a lot of the cast went through hell, to do that. Like like the contacts back then, they
Hmm.
weren't nice like they are now. I mean, they scratched up their eyes, um, the makeup and stuff, fucked them up. It was, I mean, they went through shit to do the stuff back then.
Oh, I believe it. I definitely believe that way back because again, technology was so different between now and then. Shit, even
Mhm.
5 years ago, technology was way different.
That's true. Yeah. Did you see they're remaking Saw 9? Yeah.
I'm not.
Yep.
It's one of those things. It's like, damn, when are they gonna stop? But at the same time, I'm not mad about it because I'm gonna go watch it, even if I don't go to the theaters to see it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's actually one of the in my opinion, at least, that's actually one of the franchises for the most part that's held up throughout the whole series. There might be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the series that well because I think I've watched these movies maybe like once or twice. I got to go back and watch them again, but it's for the most part it held up pretty well, and the story kind of sticks together. In my opinion, others might think different, but
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Yeah, James Wan is just he's something else. He's unreal. He's so good at what he does. Um, I was talking to him like years ago and saw the original one was actually his student film. Like they just threw together a film for their student film and it just blew up.
wow, that's
And that's
awesome.
what started his legacy.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's freaking amazing because didn't now when those movies first came out, were they come out like every year or every other year?
Yeah, I thought it was every Halloween.
Okay,
Every Halloween they'd release a new one.
okay, that's what it was. And I enjoyed those movies just honestly for the simple fact of the gore. That was like my draw to it.
Yeah, they're so fucked up.
But I'm just like, wow, they're so crazy. I'm like, just those movies
Yeah.
really make you think. I got to go back and watch those again now that we're talking about it.
Oh yeah. And it's like to think of all those ways that you can torture somebody. That is, oh my gosh, that would just suck.
Oh hell yeah, it would.
I would just kill myself. It's
I can't
like,
even.
just kill me. I'm not even trying.
I'm like, wow, what did I do to deserve this? I mean, damn,
Yeah.
could have just
Oh,
stole money from me or something. But this is crazy.
yeah. Did you see the last one? I think it was just called Jigsaw.
Hmm. Yeah,
That was pretty.
I think I seen. I did again. It was probably like a one time watch for me. Not because I didn't like it. Just I only watched it the one time. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just again. I got to go back and rewatch those. I like how they all like when you watch those movies. I like how they all connect. And like you watch, I don't remember what order they're in, but say you watch like part four, and you'll see something like a prequel to part one and part four. I'm like, what the. Stop making me
Mm-hmm.
think so much. Just show me gruesome kills.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It's like, this is too much for my brain, damn it.
That's one of those. I feel like that franchise is one of the franchises that you actually have to watch back to back to back in a sense, like a weekend of it, just so you can kind of get everything that's going on with it, or you're just gonna be confused like I was.
Mm-hmm.
because you
Yeah,
forget stuff.
definitely. Mm-hmm.
You might.
And then, like, if you watch them more than once, you start picking up more things that
Mm-hmm.
you missed the first time around.
Yep, that's true too. And if you got a
Mm-hmm.
memory like mine, you need to watch them more than once, and you need.
Yeah.
It's.
Clearly, so do I, since I didn't remember the razor blades in the neck.
Oh man, that
It's like, that's crazy.
that was a good scene to me too. I'm like, wow, that was great. And what made it really stand out for me was like he eats the pie and he drink or no he eats the pie. She's in the kitchen making coffee. She pours the coffee, has it the coffee little coffee cup on the little plate, and she comes in, sees his head laying down on the plate. She kisses him on the back of the head and just takes a sip of the coffee, and then it goes up to her face, and she's just standing there like calm, not freaking out or anything. I'm like, wow, this old lady's crazy.
Yeah, psycho bitch.
But it didn't bother me. I was like, I love it. I love the way it ended. And you know what's funny about 80s horror movies? The music.
Yes.
If it's a serious movie or if it's a comedy movie, the music is always making you want to like party. I'm like, this is not scary. How are you gonna have? I'll say, for example, Friday the 13th. You're gonna have Friday the 13th, Jason killing a bunch of people, and then the movie goes off and you want to dance. I'm like, what the hell? I thought I was supposed to
Yeah.
be scared shitless. Now you want me to dance? What's going on?
Yeah. Even Friday the 13th. Or, I mean, not Friday the 13th. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
All the music is so good. And then, like, the end credits get you all hyped up. And you're like, this is awesome.
I guess it helps you sleep at night. I don't know what it is. Because when I think of a horror movie, I'm like, okay, the movie should be scary. The music should be scary. The end credit music should be scary. But
Mm-hmm.
that's not how it goes in these movies at all, ever.
No, nope. Yeah, especially the 80s. It's like the 80s, almost all of them have those upbeat music in it. The one thing, oh, speaking of music, I did not like the music that Angela was dancing to when she was acting all weird, and that guy's like, she's acting really fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
I could not stand that song.
I don't even remember the song. I just watched the movie.
You're not missing anything. It was horrible. It's
Oh,
like, that
man.
is an awful song. There was like no lyrics or anything. It was just like a
Uh,
weird kind of like trancy, but I don't know. It was weird.
I
It
will.
sucked.
I will say this: her dancing skills weren't up there with my guy Crispin Glover in Friday the 13th. I know you're
I
gonna.
love him.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, it was. Ugh. And then it's funny because they all have that 80s hair.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's like her hair was awful. I was like, oh man. But in the remake one, Shannon Elizabeth plays Angela.
Mm-hmm. How
So she's like
how did
super pretty.
how did she do as that?
She did okay. She's not my favorite actress. So, I mean, she did okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's just she's not my favorite. So I think they could have found somebody better.
Yeah.
But I mean, she did all right. You know, she did okay. But I did like the girl that was her name Julie, the blonde one.
I don't remember her. It might have been. You know
I
what?
think it was. But I like who played Julie, and I think it's the same girl that was in that movie years ago. Oh, what was that snowboarding movie? Out Cold with Zach Galifianakis.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that girl in it, and I liked her. But they kind of changed the storyline a little bit, and in the end, she ends up outsmarting the demons by making them think that she killed herself. So then they all kind of suck in and go away.
Yeah, her name
So
was
that
Judy.
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 Oh, okay. So Judy. Yeah, so I liked her in the remake, but the ending was a little bit different. They added some different scenes, but the demons were scary in the remake also. So like in
Okay.
both of them, the demons are really scary looking.
So was the remake worth a watch to you then?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
I'm gonna have to check that out then.
I think you'd like it. It's kind of like the same thing as the Evil Dead one. Remember I was saying, so if you watch Evil Dead, then you watch the remake, and as long as you're not comparing them,
Mm-hmm.
they're both good. You know, like the remake is good. You just don't compare it to the first.
I need to revisit that one too. I can't remember if I seen the remake or not. I want to say I did, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
As bad as
Yeah.
that sounds,
There's so many movies. It's like it's hard to keep track.
it really is. And that's the thing. That's one good thing about me having this podcast is it's making me like if I have somebody on like you or whoever on, hey, I want to do a podcast on this movie. If I've seen it or not, I have to watch that movie to be able to discuss it at least a little bit to make myself sound
Hmm.
like I know what I'm talking about a little bit.
If not, just pull up Google.
Or IMDb. I do that.
Yeah. IMDb, I do that on everything. I'm like, oh, that's that person. Okay, he was in this and this and this and this and this. And oh, yeah, I'll pull that up like every day.
It's
Thank God for that.
yes, yes. It's definitely a great thing. It's a good cheat sheet if that's what you want to call it, or study guide.
Yep. And yeah, it is for sure. I'll be like, oh, you know that one guy that was in this movie? And then you look up the movie and it's like, okay, that's who it was. Oh, yeah, and he was in this. It's like, that's
What was your
what I
favorite? What's your favorite kill in this movie?
Hmm.
I really enjoyed the eye gouging scene.
Yeah, that was pretty gross. That was cool looking. Just seeing like how she goes. And then I always think, I'm like, so how did they do that? You know, because it's on his face, and you can tell her fingers are going in. So how thick did they have to make whatever they used to get her fingers in there?
Mm-hmm. That looked.
And I think that'd be like one of the worst ways to die.
Yeah.
That would hurt so bad. Trying to think. Because that one was, I mean, that one was pretty good. Because I'm trying to think of any of the other ones that were really super gruesome. Because, I mean, the guy lost his arm.
Mm-hmm.
The one girl broke her neck.
Yep.
One guy landed on the stake or something that was outside. So I mean, those were like quick deaths. The eye gouging,
That was like the most torturous death.
yeah, yeah. So I'll have to agree with you on that one. And I was super bummed that the dickhead boyfriend died. I really thought that he was going to make it out and they were going to be all, you know, happy together because he got nice and he saved her. But then the other guy ended up saving her.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I thought he was going to make it.
I kind of thought he was too, but I don't know. I really thought the black guy was gonna die a lot. Well, he didn't die at all. I thought he was. I'm just like, oh man, they're gonna kill him soon. Just get it over with, please. Just get it over with.
He made it to the end.
Like I would love him to survive. Like when the first time I seen the movie, I'm like, I would love him to survive. And then when I watched it tonight, because I didn't really remember the movie too well, same thing. I hope he survives, but I don't think he's gonna. So just get it over with. I'll deal with the pain later. But he just kept surviving. And the thing, like, I liked how he just kept running. He was like,
Yeah.
the one part where he jumps through the window, he was like, I'm going to survive or something. He jumps out the window. He's like, I'm alive.
He's like, fuck you guys.
And this whole time, I'm thinking, like, yo, listen, get up and run because somebody's going to grab you. But he was good.
Yeah.
And she comes and just steps out the window all slow. They got to climb up that wall, grabbing through the barbed wire. I was like, you gotta tough that out, girl. You gotta, come on, stop playing around.
Yep, go quicker, bitch.
And she,
Yeah.
and when he gets over the wall, my first thought is run. But he goes back up and saves her. He was a hero.
I would have left her.
Me too. Me too.
Like, sorry.
I mean, I'm brave, but I'm not that brave. There comes a time when you're just like, you know what? Like I said earlier, you're dating somebody else or two other people, so
Two other people.
they obviously couldn't save you.
Yeah.
I don't think I should risk myself for it. But he saved her. He's a hero.
Yeah, he is. I thought he was gonna die originally in the car.
Yeah.
When he was in the car and that chick fell on it, I thought somebody was gonna grab him through the window.
I thought the same thing because I remember he got outside and he went in the car. Why the hell? First of all, real quick, why did he go back inside when he got out?
That's what I thought.
Because I remember he went outside and he was in the car for a while. I don't know if he fell asleep, and when the girl hit the car, he must have fell asleep and woke up, and then he ended up back in the house. Like, why didn't you just leave?
Yeah, why did you go back in? You knew something was wrong. You knew something was going on. Fucking bail.
Or try to hotwire the car. Cars were I mean, I don't know how to do it myself, but I'm sure they were way easier to do in the 80s than they are now.
Oh yeah. Now it's like you got those push buttons and stuff.
And
It's
everything
not
else, I'm like,
happening.
yeah, alarm will go off. And they go,
Well,
hotwire that
they
car
gave
and
him
go.
the keys.
Did
Remember, she handed him Angela's keys
oh my gosh, and he still
and
did it.
said, "Here you go."
I'm gonna chalk it up to maybe he didn't know how to drive, but still, in that situation, just learn.
Mm-hmm.
Just learn.
Or just run. Just
Yeah,
run.
he was running all the other times. He could have ran.
Yep. I'm trying to think who else died. Because the one girl, so the girl that was driving the car in the beginning is the one that fell on the roof. So they never showed how she died. She just fell in the car dead.
Yeah, and then there was the two boyfriends died. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what else to call them. One got
Yeah.
his eyes gouged out. The other one fell on the stake, and they made a joke about it, but I forgot what they said exactly. He wanted to stick around or something. I forgot what she said. What she said, whatever it was, I laughed at.
I can't remember. And that's funny too with the 80s movies because they always have like those little funny punchlines.
They're real
They,
cheesy, but they work so well,
mm-hmm.
especially for the
Yep.
horror comedies.
Yeah.
I freaking loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think, there was
I. What did you think? Which demon do you think was the scariest?
the scariest. Um, oh, that's a good question. I'd have to say Angela,
Mm-hmm. I agree.
just because the way she kept coming back from every. I mean, I know they were all coming back. She kept coming back from everything, and then just always had something to say. Leaving the party, she's like, "You're leaving now? The party's just getting started." Like, what
Mm-hmm.
kind of fucking party is this? Everybody's dead.
Yeah.
If I
Yeah,
was,
fuck this
you know,
party.
if I'm dead, if I'm a demon, yeah, this is a great party. But I'm a human. That's no, it's not that fun to me. I'm leaving.
Yep. The one thing that I didn't like, so in the remake, the demon. Okay, so remember in the beginning when they're looking in the mirror,
Hmm.
and that like it almost looked like a dragon. The
Yeah,
demon. I didn't like that. I think they should have done a scary looking demon face, not a dragon.
that's kind of like towards the end. That same face, I think, with after they both get over the wall, and I guess the sun starts coming up,
Mm-hmm.
and you see that face in the sky.
Yeah.
It didn't look too scary to me at all. It was kind of,
No.
I mean, I get it because it was a horror comedy, but it was too silly. Like they should have made a demon face, like you're saying, a real scary demon face.
Mm-hmm. And I think in the remake they did. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember. But like in the remake part, I can't remember who the girl is, like who she's supposed to be.
Hmm.
But they're, her and her boyfriend are in the room, and God, I'm trying to remember what happens. Like she turns into the demon, and I almost think it comes out of her mouth, like into his head, or like, they're obviously having sex like they all do in all the movies. And something happens when they're together, and it's like, holy fuck. Like, I need to watch it again because I remember that part was like, oh my God, like that is horrible.
Oh, I gotta watch it again myself then.
Yeah, there were some fucked up scenes. And I remember I watched it Halloween probably like 6 or 7 years ago, and I got anxiety from it. I was like, oh my
Wow.
gosh. Yeah. Which
Yeah.
was weird because that doesn't usually happen because I watch everything, but
Hmm.
something with the demons was like, oh my God, I feel funny. Like, I don't feel right.
I'm definitely gonna
I'm
have to
getting
rewatch
anxiety.
that. Now, what made them change in this movie? Like, I know who changed. Oh, what the heck was her name? It wasn't Angela that changed. What was the girl's name that changed first?
Suzanne.
Suzanne with the whole lipstick. Like I remember she was the one. For some reason, she had her mouth open, and whatever it was went in her mouth, and she just changed immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what that was. I didn't really catch that.
I think it was like that dragon presence because
Okay.
when they broke the mirror and it kind of came out of the mirror, they couldn't see it, but I think that's what it was. I think that's
Okay.
what was going into everybody.
Okay. That makes
And
sense.
then
Then.
they were just passing it, like each one that kissed, it was kind of passing through.
Yes, because I remember when her and Angela kissed. Angela was standing there kind of for a minute, kind of weird, and then she changed. Her whole like body, the way she was moving, her movements and everything changed. Then she started acting real crazy, and I was just like, oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then one thing I think that could have been changed in general, I mean, the house was creepy, but you could tell they were kind of just using like the same hallway
Mm-hmm.
constantly. So it's supposed to seem bigger, like a bigger house, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And
So
then again in the remake, it's a huge house. Like you can tell it's like a mansion-y looking house. So there's tons of different rooms and tons of different areas. This one you could just tell they reused
mhm.
the rooms and hallways to make it look bigger.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that could have helped too. I always feel like with these type of movies, maybe a few more characters in it just for those non-important kills, those those quick kill-offs to make the
Mm-hmm.
main ones last a little bit longer. But then I feel at the same time like this wasn't too bad because it was just supposed to be a group of friends going to a party. But then I flip back and forth because I'm like, okay, if kids are going to a high school party, they're gonna try to have beer, alcohol, weed, whatever at an abandoned house. Usually, there's gonna be at least, let's say, 20 kids there, 20 people there. And
Mm-hmm.
there was about like
Oh yeah.
10 top, no, not even 10, maybe six. Shit, I forgot.
Yeah. So there are the three in the car: Angela, Suzanne, the girl and her boyfriend,
Hmm.
the rude ass boyfriend, and then the Asian and her boyfriend. So 10.
Oh wow, yeah.
But a party like that would have been bigger. And I think in the remake, she sends out invitations and a bunch of people come.
See
I'm,
that?
I'm pretty sure.
I gotta watch this freaking remake.
Yeah, you'll like it.
I really gotta
And
watch it.
that would be a good one for the like the two remake or not remake one
Yeah,
you were talking about. That'd
yeah,
be a good one.
that would be. Again, I'm one of those people. I'm a fan of as long as they're done right, or at least halfway decent. I'm a fan of remakes. I'm not one of those people that just says don't remake this. Keep it original. Blah blah blah. That's I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. A lot of people get pissed off.
They do.
Like, yeah, and I'm like, I'll watch it. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. But I'll watch it for sure.
I look at it. It's just one extra horror movie for me to watch. So
Mm-hmm.
that can't be a bad thing right there. If the movie sucks, I've watched some pretty bad movies in my life, and I'm gonna watch a
Oh
lot
yeah.
more bad,
Oh yeah.
a whole
There's
lot more
tons of
bad
them.
movies.
Yeah. We should do a show one day on Fright Night. Have you done it already?
No, I haven't, but I
We
would
should
do it.
do one on that.
I would
It's
definitely
a,
do that.
yeah,
I
that's a
think
badass one.
my brother Henry would like that one too. He's the one who introduced me to that movie. Actually, Fright Night.
Mm-hmm.
He was on with us for the Evil Dead movie for a
Yeah.
little bit, so he would. I'll talk to him about that, but I would do that.
Yeah,
Definitely do that.
that would be fun. I know there's a lot of stuff about that one that was really good and so many behind the scenes things that happened,
Hmm.
like with the makeup and just all that kind of stuff. There's some cool facts about that movie.
Oh yeah, we we'll have to put that down then to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One popular one a lot of people want to do, which I want to do one. I don't know when, maybe the next couple of weeks, maybe a month. I'm not sure. Might be later. But it's Terrifier. That's
I was just gonna ask you about that.
like everybody who I've either done a podcast with or I'm doing one in the future, like, hey, have you done Terrifier yet? And I'm like, look, so many people want to do this movie, so I want to try to see everybody wants to do the movie, pick a date, and we just all do it that day, like a big
Hmm.
conference thingy. Because I feel like I can't do that with just one person because so many people enjoyed that movie. I
Yeah,
freaking loved it.
it was awesome. Oh man, have you talked to David Howard Thornton or Damien Leone?
David here and there, not as far as the podcast yet, but I am working on that. It's just a matter of when we can kind of meet up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely want to get him on here.
That would be cool.
I'm trying.
Yeah, he had commented on our YouTube show because we did one on Terrifier. It's not a podcast. We do like show our favorite scenes and this and that.
Hmm.
And he's like, I want to do a voice off with your friend,
Awesome.
which is my co-host. I'm like, that would be fucking awesome.
That's awesome. He's cool.
Yeah.
He's really cool. I like how he's real responsive to the fans on Facebook and all that. Like that. I've said it to him before, and I said it to other fans. Like that really means a lot. That you being a fan of the movie and you being a fan of it, it makes you a bigger fan of it just because he's still humble. He's real humble about it, and just
Mm-hmm.
it's cool. Same thing with Vincent DeSante,
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, Renee, all those guys. Like it's cool. It's real cool when people do stuff like that.
Oh yeah. It's like people just appreciate it and then they like the movie more because you're not an arrogant asshole.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And
So yeah, that would be super cool if you could get him on there.
I'm gonna, I know I'm gonna get him on here eventually. It's just a matter of
Mhm.
time.
Yeah, you're like,
Yes, exactly.
that'll be awesome.
I can't wait for a
Um,
sequel to that freaking movie. Speaking of Terrifier,
I know they're working on it.
yes, they are, and oh my god,
Oh, I can't even.
I hope there's. I mean, I know with a slasher, with horror in general, but especially for slashers, you don't really need a big story for it. But I hope there's a little bit more to the story,
Mm-hmm.
just because I feel like that would make the movie that much better. The movie was great to me,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like with a story, it'd make it that much better.
Oh yeah, I want to know where he came from. Like, obviously he's not. Obviously he's not human. There's something about him because I mean, his fucking head was blown off,
Mm-hmm.
and he came back. So I want to know like the story behind him. Like, what made him that?
Yeah, I get what you're saying with that. Me too. Did you see All Hallows Eve?
I was just gonna ask you that. Yeah. And like when he's like in the TV and he's all banging the TV and all of a
Yeah,
sudden he's there. So he's something supernatural in some kind of way.
I enjoyed that. Like I enjoyed Terrifier way more. But the cool thing I like about All
Yeah.
Hallows Eve was how they pulled him from that story, from that I can't even think of the word I'm looking for. Anyway, from that movie, and made like made their own movie of him out of that. I thought that was awesome. I always wanted to
Mm-hmm.
see that with those type of anthology. That's the word I was looking for. I always wanted to see it with those type of movies. Like it'd be cool for them to make a full feature movie out of certain anthologies that I've seen. I can't think of any off the top of my head besides that, but
Mm-hmm.
I love
I
how
know.
they did it
Yeah,
with
I know
that,
what you mean though.
and how I just love the way they went with it. I loved how brutal, because Slasher is my favorite. I love how brutal he was, and like how funny he was at the same time, and silent.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would kill somebody and then laugh, but laugh like a mime.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is
And
just ridiculously amazing.
he has I think he used to be a mime. So he already has those gestures and stuff down. Like he knows how to do that.
Hmm.
And so that made it like I mean, he was so good at it.
He was great at it, and he's actually, as far as Art the Clown goes, he's my second favorite slasher behind the great Jason Voorhees.
Mm-hmm.
But and
See,
that's
and I'm Freddy Krueger and then Art the Clown. You're Jason, I'm Freddy.
yeah, hey, it happens.
It's like that Team Jason, Team Freddy.
Yeah, Freddy's cool though, but Jason, it's just, I think my biggest reason for being a Jason fan is just because it's the movie I've seen the most. Like I remember back in the day when I was a kid, on Friday the 13th, that movie would be on all weekend on USA Network,
I
the whole
remember
freaking weekend.
USA.
And I
And they
just,
do like the marathons.
yes, and I just sit there watching whatever ones they showed. I'm watching it. Obviously, they cut out a lot of the good scenes, so you didn't really get to see
Mm-hmm.
the good stuff till you got the DVDs or the VHSs. But still, that had me hooked. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. See, but I liked when they did the Freddy marathons and he would host it.
see, I don't remember watching those ones.
Yeah, so that was cool because he would be the host of it. And so all day long they would play. I mean, just like the Friday the 13th.
That's awesome though.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see the Friday the 13th series, the shows?
Mm-mm.
It's actually not. It has nothing to do with Jason at all. It's actually pretty good. I wish I could explain it better, but I'm trying to go from memory. Pretty much, there's a family that owns like a these ancient artifacts or whatever, and they're trying to get them all back because they have like certain powers. Obviously, they get in the wrong hands. People use these powers to kill or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they're each episode they're trying to get them back. Like it's like an anthology series, similar to like Tales from the Crypt, I guess.
Oh, cool.
Each episode is different as far as like what they're going after, but it's the same three main characters in it. I think it's a brother, sister, and uncle, something like that. But it's pretty fun. I just started watching that like maybe a year or two ago, here and there. Me and my wife were watching it on and off, and
Mm-hmm.
I when I first heard about it, people were like, "Jason's on it." I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be stupid," and I was mad, swearing and everything else. But when I finally watched it, I was like, "This is." If you're a horror fan, you should definitely check it out. I think you would enjoy it.
Okay. When was it made? Is it like a newer series or is it older?
No, it's old. Maybe 90s, 80s or 90s, maybe 90s. Yeah, it had to be after the Jason movie, so
Okay.
maybe 90s.
I'll have to check it out then for sure. I didn't even know there was a series.
Yeah, And then I remember there was a rumor they were gonna make a Friday the 13th series that had something to do with Jason. This was a couple years back, but unfortunately, that's never happened. I don't know if it's ever gonna happen or not. I was excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still waiting to see if they do more movies, but we'll see.
Yeah, because there's that whole legal battle, right? That's going on.
Yeah, last I read, the legal battle was over. Victor won, but I guess they appealed it, so us fans
Mm-hmm.
have to suffer even longer.
Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, we got all the fan film
Yeah. So
stuff.
I've only seen the one. I think that's the only one that's out right now, though, right?
It
The
is
Never
the
Hike
Never
Alone,
Hike Alone.
which was really good. I can't wait to see the rest of them,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope they're all
Yeah,
just as good. Because
I
that
hope
was,
so. But I mean, again, it's they're fan films. I mean, they're not going to obviously be studio quality. I mean, Vincenti's was, but it's just they're fan films. So hope they're not going to be as good as studio, but they're gonna. I mean, they're fun to watch.
oh,
Even like Spirit of Haddonfield, that was fun to watch. I liked it.
the quality of that movie was great though. Like
That was,
if
yeah.
like when I go into watching a fan made film, I just kind of go into watching the movie as just like if that's the only movie on earth that exists. I don't really. Yeah, you want the quality to be good, but at the same time, you're like, look, they only had a certain, say their budget was only $5,000. I don't know what the budget was, but say their budget's only $5,000. That's what they had to work with. Let's see what they can do with that budget,
Hmm.
and kind of see how they, even if the acting's not up to par, see how they did with the story and everything else. That's how I would kind of rate these movies, and
Hmm.
so far so good with the ones that I've seen.
Yeah. Yep. I really did like Spirit of Haddonfield. I thought that was a good one, and it was cool to see like what it meant to
Hmm.
Renee Rivas. That was cool, So that makes you like it even more, just because it was a passion project,
Yeah,
and so that makes you like, that's awesome. He took something he loved and he made something out of it, and that's cool. I like that.
exactly. Like I with that movie, I was when I did the podcast with my cousin, we both agreed. Like, say if you're, say you have a little brother, little sister, cousin, whatever, and you want to get them into horror, I feel like Spirit of Haddonfield, even Never Hike Alone, is like kind of a good start for them because it's not too. It's not to me. It's not scary at all. But for a kid, it wouldn't be
Hmm.
too scary, and it kind of introduces them to it slowly, kind of subtle. There's no nudity in either one. Well, yeah, there's no nudity in either one of them,
Hmm.
so it's not. Yeah, I mean, if you're someone who worries about all that, it's a good start for them.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, those are fun. I really like them. And it's funny, like when I mean, you don't realize how many fan films there are until you're like on YouTube and you're like, oh wow.
I
And
know.
there's like a lot of fan films.
I need to find more because I would love to do a podcast on just. I mean, I want to still do the bigger movies and all that, but just here and there, try to do a fan made film maybe once a month or whatever, just because
Hmm.
get that out there for other people to check out and hey, see what happens with it.
Yeah, for sure. Like mix it up. So you have all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm. There's did you see Vincenti is involved in that new one? It's called, I think, Pathosis.
I did see something about that. I believe I shared it in my group a couple of times when they posted it.
Mm-hmm.
For
That looks cool. I don't know if it's all supposed to be computer animated or not, or if that's just like the concept that they're doing to kind of show you what's going to come.
hmm
But there's some of that was scary. Like the thing kind of creeping around around the doorway, and she kind of closes her eyes and looks and it's gone, and then the girl hanging there.
I'm gonna have to revisit that.
Yeah,
Check
it
it.
looks. I noticed because I know he was showing like little parts,
Hmm.
and then now there's like a whole trailer out there with just the computer animated idea of it, I guess. And I think I was reading comments. I believe it's going to have real actors. I think that's just the concept that they're kind of showing you.
Nice. That'll be
Hmm.
that'll be fun.
Yeah, that looks pretty creepy.
And you have some fan made films coming up soon, don't you?
I do. Well, one of them's not a fan made. It's actually it's full feature.
Okay.
But I'm not through the whole thing. But me and Christopher Enlow, we did a part in it. So it's called The Darknet.
Hmm.
And so that one, it's its own concept. It's really cool. So that should be out. I think they're finishing up filming everything in December, and then like the pre-orders are out, and then it's going to be instantly distributed everywhere.
Nice.
So the director of that one is Johnny Johnson, and he did. If you go on to what is it? I think it's on Amazon. He did the remake of Plan 9 from Outer Space, and it was pretty good. I liked it. It has Brian Krause in it from remember Sleepwalkers?
I don't think I've seen that.
Stephen King.
I've heard of it. I didn't watch that.
Oh,
I need to.
Yeah, I love that one. But Brian Krause is in it, and so I instantly loved it because I really like him as an actor. So that's good. So if you want to check out a good movie, I would check that one out. But yeah, so that one should come out, and then me and Christopher, and then Cody Falk, who's doing Voorhees right now. Okay. We're doing 3 Bodies, 1 Grave. So we just wrapped that one up about 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
Yeah. So that one's more. It's not that super gory, Friday the 13th that you would expect. It's a period piece. So it's like back in the 50s. Our set was incredible. We had like a real vintage 50s house. Every single piece of furniture, knickknack, appliances, everything in that house was from the 50s.
That's awesome.
So that was super cool. So I'm waiting for that to get finished up, and then can't wait to see it.
Me either.
It's like I just want to see it.
You and me both. I want to see it and review it eventually.
Hell yeah. Yeah, when it comes out, I'll tell you for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. And that's pretty much it on my end for now.
That's still good, though. That's a lot.
Yeah. So it's exciting. I love it. Earlier today I was watching, have you seen the previews for the Possession of Hannah Grace?
I've seen that because I watch a lot of YouTube videos and I see it here and there. It'll pop up as one of those ads. Yeah, it looks good.
It looks scary. That comes out the 30th. I want to see that really bad.
I'm going to have to check that one out.
Me too. So, I know we totally went off topic of Night of the Demons like we did last time. We start talking about all these other movies.
I'm telling you, this is how my podcast always go. We'll start talking about the movie we're reviewing. We'll discuss it here and there, and then it still sticks with horror though, so it works. We'll jump into other stuff, and I'm never mad about it. I'm like, hey, whatever works.
It's fun. It's like squirrel.
Exactly. And seeing as how we're staying off topic, did you see the new Halloween movie?
I did.
What'd you think?
Did you?
Yes.
I liked it, but I really did like it. I loved the mask that they did. Obviously I love Jamie Lee Curtis. So it was cool to see her. I mean, she's in a lot of them, but it was, cool to see her. It was neat how they also did it to where basically they're acting like all the other ones didn't happen. And this is just coming from the very first one. So I thought that was cool. But, then I compare it to the first one because the first one is my favorite. And so I'm like, oh, the first one is, to me, the first one's better just because that's the original. But I enjoyed it. I've seen it twice.
Okay.
What'd you think?
I really enjoyed it, and I only seen it the one time. I'm like, I got to see it again. I'm like back and forth on if this one or the original is my favorite. Just because, again, I like what you're saying, how they just ignored all the rest of them and just kind of went through this. And I love how Jamie Lee Curtis's character was just so much more prepared, so much more on alert with everything. And it was just fun. I also like how she was playing the hunter in some parts. Like I remember when he threw her off the balcony, and he hears something. He goes back and he looks over the wall, and she's gone, and he just looks down like, "Fuck."
Where the fuck did she go? And that's usually the opposite.
Yeah.
Usually it's you think he's dead, and then he's gone.
He's like, this is how everybody thinks when I do this to them.
This is what it feels like.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and we already know there's going to be a sequel to it. One, because they said it, and did you stay after the credits?
Where he breathes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right there, I'm like, okay. My mind was like, okay. I already knew there was going to be a sequel. I'm like, all right. They try to throw you off with the girl grasping the knife. I don't think she's gonna be the killer in the next one. When they're in the back of the pickup truck and she has the butcher knife in her hand, she kind of grasps it before the credits go up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, nah. As cool as that could be, maybe that's not what's gonna happen. And you hear him breathe, and I'm like, okay. My mind is going. I'm like, I think I know how he survives. Now, do you remember when they're showing her house in the backyard? How they have, the basements with the doors that go outside, like
Mm-hmm.
the ones that are kind of in the ground, but they come, you come up the stairs and they
Yeah.
open up like that. They showed that for like a split second in the movie. They didn't show it for too long. They only showed it one time. I don't remember where it was in the movie, but they showed it one time, and that was it. So I'm feeling that would be the one spot that she didn't secure for him to get, so he couldn't get in or get out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's how he got out.
I bet.
Now
Yeah.
he might have got burned some. He might be hurt, but he could have got out of there and just kind of like breathing, laying on the ground a little bit like he always does, and then gets up and I don't know how the hell he always finds her. That right there still gets me.
Yeah. It's like that would suck. Like you're constantly running your entire life and you can just never get away from it.
That's just nuts. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what kind of GPS tracker he has on her, but that's some good shit right there.
Oh yeah. It's like, well, she's fucked forever.
Until one of them dies.
Mm-hmm. But they're never going to. I mean, she could, but he's never going to.
I guess we'll have to wait for the next one to see what they do with it.
Yeah. It's like that's just one thing I think they'll never end. Same with Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th and
Hmm.
Terrifier and Chucky. They never die.
That's true. That's true. I do like, and back to this Halloween, I do like how they said that they weren't related. How it was just kind of a rumor. I mean, either way, it didn't bother them if they stayed related or what with the story. But I like how the girl was like, no, it was just a rumor that people were spreading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that was weird too because I never knew that until was this the only movie that said that?
Well, yeah, because this movie changed that part up. Because all the other
Oh,
ones they were related. I
oh,
remember, yeah, all
because
the
she
other
was
ones.
his sister and all the other ones, right?
Yep. And
Mm-hmm.
this they just cut that part out, which it didn't bother me again because they ignored the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's
So that was a good one. It kind of had a feel of like the original and like the Rob Zombie ones mixed.
yeah, how brutal it was, which I
Mm-hmm.
freaking loved. I loved the head stomp kill. I feel like
Yeah. What it reminds you of.
Terrifier.
Yeah.
I was just about to say
Exactly.
I had a feeling it was paying a little homage to Terrifier with the
Mm-hmm.
head stomp. I was just about to say
And the
that.
jack-o'-lantern face. Remember the jack-o'-lantern face on fire?
Yes, that
That
was
one.
hilarious.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's Terrifier right there.
Hilarious. Oh my goodness. I just love how had the cop car just sitting there. I was
He's
laughing.
just holding it.
I was laughing at that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I liked how violent it was. Like you were saying with the Rob Zombie ones when he drops the teeth over the thing.
That was gross.
That
Mm-hmm.
was beautiful. And then just the brutality of his kills because in all the other Halloween movies, he's really not that. He kills, yeah, but it's really not that gory. Like
Mm-hmm.
this was more like again, like you could say Terrifier or like Jason. Jason's always a gory killer.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Michael just kind of does it real quick, gets to the point, and that's it. If he kills you, he's not going all out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one there was a lot more to the kills. Like when the boyfriend of the blonde chick,
Hmm.
when he stuck him to the wall, like through his neck with a knife. I was
Yes.
like, oh, that fucking sucks.
And the little
Yeah.
kid had me rolling in the movie. He was
Me too.
hilarious. I don't remember what the boyfriend's name was. He's like, you can go up there if you want to, but you're gonna die. And
Yeah, send Dave first.
he just took off.
Don't go, send Dave.
Yep. Send Dave first. He had a point. That's what his name.
Mm-hmm.
Dave. Dave, if you go up there, you're gonna
Dave.
die.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yes.
Yeah, that kid was funny. We were cracking up through that.
I actually seen that movie. Me and my wife went to see that the same day we came back from that con I was telling you about that I was at Scaricon.
Mm-hmm.
Like the movie was at I think the movie was at 5 o'clock. We got back home at like 4:40, 4:30. The theater's like 5 minutes from us, if that. Unloaded the truck and just left. Like unloaded the truck, grabbed some snacks and drinks, and just left. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, so I talked about that movie later on that night with my brother. I missed a lot of the Easter eggs, like I couldn't remember them, just because I was still on the high from the con. So I was still
Mm-hmm.
excited from the con, and from going to the con to seeing that, and I'm just like, I gotta wind down at some point.
Yeah, just keep going on again.
Yeah, so I definitely gotta. I have to rewatch it just to catch a lot of the Easter eggs in it. But I love the freaking movie though.
Yeah, it was good. I'll definitely. That's probably one I'll end up buying.
Oh, definitely. You know what I hate about movies though, is it's like, for example, like I have all the Halloween movies, right? Now they're gonna come out with two more, at least two more, and they're probably gonna come out with another like big awesome collection thing. And I'm like, I know I don't need it, but I'm gonna want it just
Oh
because.
yeah,
They gotta stop doing that to us.
yeah, they do it on purpose. That's their method. Yeah, the guy James Jude Courtney who played I almost said Jason, Michael Myers.
Hmm.
He wished me a happy birthday on my Facebook.
That's awesome.
I know. I was like, oh my god, that's so cool.
I hope you said thank you.
Oh yeah, I totally did. Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
Oh, that's awesome though.
Mm-hmm. I was like, that's so cool.
I guess we can go back into Night of the Demons for a little bit, at least for the movie rating. Uh, at a 1 to 10 demons, what would you rate this movie?
Oh man. I would say like between like a 7 and an 8. I loved the effects. I loved the storyline, but the acting obviously wasn't like the best.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think, like I was saying, the house could have been a little bit different. They could have done a little bit more with it, but I would say like between a 7 and 8 because it's a classic. I absolutely love the demons. And it's a movie that's been around forever that I love. I never get tired of it. What would you say?
Me, I'm gonna give it an 8. Same reason you said, the acting wasn't that great, but I didn't expect that, one from a horror comedy and then two just from an 80s horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like you said too, the house could have been creepier, but again, it was a horror comedy, which I do wish it was creepier. And the dragon face, whatever that was at the end,
Yeah,
that bothered
that
me.
ruined it.
But I had a black survivor, and that's rare, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
and and then to top it off, he not only was he a survivor, but he saved somebody and survived. Like I said, usually in these horror movies, you go back to try to save the girl or save the guy, you end up dying for saving someone else's stupid ass.
Mm-hmm.
And the old lady,
Yeah.
that part you have to rewatch, even if you fast forward the whole movie just to watch that last part. She's my second
Okay.
favorite character just because of that.
Just because she's ruthless.
She is. Like, she just took a sip of that coffee and just didn't give a fuck at all.
No fucks given. I'm gonna have to do it tonight. I'm just gonna watch it just to watch that one part.
You should. You
Mm-hmm.
definitely should.
I will, because I'm like, fuck, I don't remember that. I don't know. But yeah, you'll have to watch the remake for sure.
I'm gonna.
I think you'll enjoy it.
I'm definitely gonna. But I guess we can wrap this one up. Just stay on after I stop this recording.
Okay.
But do you want to plug anything? Do you have anything you want to plug before?
Yes, my two projects. So the Darknet, both of them are on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So the Darknet, which that's what it is on Facebook, and then 3 Bodies, 1 Grave. That's on Facebook as well. And then the director of Darknet is Darkstone Entertainment. And then the director of 3 Bodies, 1 Grave is Christopher Inlow Entertainment.
Awesome.
Yeah. And that's about it.
Well, before I say my little spiel, I will say thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. It was definitely fun.
Yeah, it's always fun. I love it.
And you're always welcome to come back on.
Yay.
And everybody else listening, thank you for listening. Check out her project. She's awesome. And thanks for listening. Keep sharing, keep subscribing. You guys know where I'm at. Check out my Facebook groups. I'm on Podbean. I'm on Stitcher, Spotify. Anywhere you can listen to a podcast, you can find me. YouTube, Twitch. I game now. I stream. I don't take any game serious. I'm always joking around, talking shit with my brother. So yeah, come join us on there. And again, thanks for listening, and I'll see